Thank you, my dear fellow bins out here, and everyone who are kind of keenly waiting to listen. This should be a good forum. And we have very senior colleagues from various different facets of organization. I would be moderating this session. I would also open up in case if any one of you have any questions, so that we'll also take. And from there, I think I'll take it forward straight with the panels out here. So thank you so much. We had a brief interaction, and I'll give a quick disclaimer to everyone who is listening to this. This is one panel where all of us, we said that we will not speak or we will not really talk about any questions which are prefabricated. Usually that's what happens in panels. Trust me, this is a very, 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 very genuine panel, and none of the questions are prefabricated. Thank you so much for all of you, and this should be very, very original. How we'll keep this panel is we want all of you to keep your answers very crisp, because we are a lot of people out here, so that everyone gets a chance. That would be fair enough for all of us. And to be very, very specific, I would be asking specific questions which you can speak based on your company and how you are actually adding value. The entire question sets should be based on how you are adding value to India at large. So that would be the theme, because I'm a great believer that we all being Indians, I think we owe responsibility for our country first, and it have to be as factual and genuine. So I'll start with you. So if you can just give a quick throwaway to all our guests as to what do you do, what does your company does, and what do you build as an ecosystem for India at large?
Great. Hi everyone, I'm Harsh. I'm founder of WareIQ. We are an e-commerce fulfillment and shipping company, and we enable D2C brands to offer fast shipping on the channels which they're selling on. Could be their website, marketplaces, and lately on quick commerce. So what we enable is essentially the digital infrastructure for logistics. Currently, like, speed is at the cornerstone of the consumer need. So if you don't deliver fast, customers don't really buy.
So how does your company really helps for the country at large? So that's what would be important.
Yeah. So for the country at large, essentially, as an enabler, if we do our job well, there will be more brands who will be able to unlock their commerce, and that essentially enables more economy and more GDP.
And what kind of TG do you have for the country, and how do you see yourself touching on the length and breadth of the country, or which are the markets that you really work for? These are the things that people would be really interested to know, because that's what adds value to the consumer and the organization at large.
Yeah, so target group is typically small to mid-size digital brands who are scaling quite well. So that's typically the segment where we see traction on. But lately, we also see a lot of large enterprise businesses with very established business who have ambition to scale their digital presence strongly would come to us. So yeah, the TG would be digitally native or offline players with a very large digital ambition scaling.
Fair enough. I'll go with the next participant for us. Could you also elaborate on the same thing? Because this would give a really warm-up session for everyone to understand as to what you do.
Hi everyone, this is Megha here. I'm the founder and CEO of purplepony.com, and we are basically a curated marketplace for artisanal products, home decor and lifestyle products. We cater to the premium segmentation of the market, and I think how Purple Pony is adding to the India angle is that we work with about 100 different artisans from across the country, and which is a number that we choose to grow, but of course not recklessly, but very consciously. And we partner with various brands who want to bring their platforms online, or who want to bring their products online. We create content for them as well as sort of market them and put them in a global light.
So how do you see that it really adds value to specific markets, or could you also throw some light as which are the markets that you cater to in India?
So we basically work with the home decor segment.
Which are the markets?
Which are the markets? So we operate pan-India, but I would say tier 1 is, of course, the giant bit of the market. It takes the giant bit, but tier 2 is also closely coming up.
What kind of products and what kind of price points are those?
Okay, so we can say we would have an average bill value of somewhere around 2,700.
And products?
And products are ranging anywhere from, say, 500 rupees to 5 lakhs. We have 11,000 products listed on the website.
So you kind of cater to the upper part of India. Over to you, ma'am.
As I said, premium.
Yeah, that's what I've said. Yeah, ma'am, over to you.
Yeah, hi everyone. I am Megha Bansal. I head supply chain and logistics at ONDC. So ONDC is a DPIIT-backed startup where we are actually working to democratize the entire e-commerce segment for the people who have never done e-commerce in their life. So currently we say that e-commerce penetration is around 7-8% in the country. Our objective is to make it to, let's say, 8-9-10%, even if we are able to make a change of 1% in the country and able to give a livelihood to the person who has never done sales online. I think our job is done. So that's our main core thing that we are trying to do. And how I am adding value is how I'm taking care of their supply chain, which currently, as I saw since today morning, that is the main issue with the D2C brands or other brands as well, in terms of how to do the entire fulfillment and how to position or place the product rightly in the supply chain. That's what we are trying to solve for them.
You know what? I have been speaking to people all across, and when I speak about supply chain or similar, we all speak about supply chain primarily on the upper strata of India. I'll speak much more on that. That is the reason I wanted for all of us to see how we can make and touch and build a great business, great top lines, great EBITDAs, IRRs, along with ensuring that we also serve the country at large. So, that would also give impetus. I'll come to this much more. Over to you, sir.
Hi, everyone. My name is Meer. I head e-commerce for Babyshop. So Babyshop is a global 16-country brand. We sell in about 16 odd countries. And we cater to about 2 crore customers annually, happy customers. So we are largely a destination for parenthood. Now what we bring to India is a 50 years legacy experience of curated products, largely trusted by parents and loved by kids across 16 countries. So we're now in India. It's been about 6 odd months. And we want to be a destination for parenthood, where they start buying when the kid is just born to, the kid becomes a 14-year-old. And it's a curated range of products, international products at Indian prices. So that's what we bring to India.
So Mr. Irfan, what kind of price points do you have when you say like Indian prices?
Yeah, so let's say a t-shirt, a top would largely start at 199, which is more an international quality, but at Indian price. So at 199. So we have clothing, apparels, and
And these are all offline stores?
So we have about 9 stores and growing.
And where are these stores in the country?
So we have 2 in Bangalore. We have 1 in Pune. We have 1 in Hyderabad. A few in Gurgaon and other places as well.
Anything in Tier 2, Tier 3?
Tier 2, Tier 3, we have our own app and website where we kind of market across all pin codes of India. So anybody from all over India can actually have access to our products. It's not only apparels, but we are also into non-apparels. Like our strollers range from 2,999, a high-quality stroller. So
you are one of the very renowned Dubai-based part of Landmark Group. So, as a venture for India, because your parent company holds and they are cash rich. So as a venture for India, just for my curiosity, why is it that it's only starting from Tier 1 and not from Tier 2 or Tier 3? That's where India needs baby products as well.
I know, and that's why for Tier 2, Tier 3, one is we sell on our own asset, which is app and web, but we've also launched our product portfolio on Myntra and Flipkart, especially Flipkart has a wider reach in Tier 2. So online is what we are servicing in Tier 2, and eventually, yes, once we cater, because largely Landmark as a group, we enter the malls, right? Most of our stores, whether it's Lifestyle Max, Home Center, today Babyshop, we're all in the prime malls. But eventually, yes, we would love to enter Tier 2
Over to you,
as well.
ma'am. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. This is Aparna Thyagarajan, co-founder Shobitam and chief product specialist. Shobitam is a cross-border platform. And to really answer your question, we connect with the second largest industry in India, which is the handloom arts and crafts space. and bring their work accessible to the globe. So we are a brand that is made in India for the world, to answer your question. And we really work with grassroots artisans and weavers to make ethnic fashion, be it your saris, jewelry, precious jewelry, ethnic wear, home decor, and make them available globally.
Very nice. Over to you, ma'am. Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Alishha, founder of IKIRU. IKIRU is a curated marketplace of home decor and furniture and lighting with over 300 plus manufacturers pan-India. We operate pan-India, but we started off from tier 2 city. I am from Indore, Madhya Pradesh. And we had a thought that the culture would be Japanese culture of minimalism. That is how the IKIRU concept was born. But then now we've evolved to a more design-centric approach. And we are catering to mass premium audience as well as to B2B clients that are our architects, interiors, and procurement management.
Fantastic. How this panel goes on is that usually all panels also needs to kind of get through any questions that you have. So after I finish, so there's an opportunity for anyone from the crowd to ask anything. And if not, then I'll go back to the panel again. Is there any question that the crowd wants to ask? Anything that you feel, because they're from diverse industries and they would be happy to kind of answer you as well. Nothing? Super. So I'll go back now from you to start. What are the critical challenges that you face in your industry specific that you feel need to be solved in the next 1 year time for you to grow your top line as well as your bottom lines to make a good business sense?
Sure. I think customer economics is something that we really face the challenge with. Here in our case, AOV goes up to 6,000, 7,000, right? But the CAC is lower. So in a way, it is actually a benefit for us because we cut down on the acquisition cost earlier after the first purchase itself, because the price is 7,000 rupees for one product, let's say. But then the challenge comes when repeat orders doesn't come, right? When the percentage is less as compared to the new orders. So I think we'll be working on repeat order rate, which in our industry is tricky, but I think is possible when it comes to procurement management.
And what are the tools that you use to kind of get repeat customers back or to increase the ticket size of the entire buying values?
Sure. So I think bundling helps us a lot. Because if you're buying a furniture, you can also buy light and decor. So bundling is one of the key aspects. And also the customer experience, WhatsApp automations, workflows really work well for us.
Over to you, ma'am. Same question.
Same question, okay.
You know why we keep same questions? Because every industry is different. And every industry's equation runs differently.
So main challenge I would say is, when you are on the path to profitability, operational costs, right? So be it your COGS, be it your shipping, be it your marketing costs. So, getting performance improvement on those areas. So one of the things that we did was invest in tech. That has really, really helped because this is an industry that's very fragmented, right? Think of very little tech penetration. So connecting with our weavers directly from across India. So we have a very rich tech stack that really helps us be very efficient.
Over to you, sir.
Okay, so I'll split it into two parts. So one is the challenge when all of us sell on marketplace, where of course there's a commission what you pay out, but also the market is now spoiled with discounts, right? Everybody wants discounts. So securing that markdown, growing gross margin and still paying out those commissions to marketplace is always a challenge for all the brands. And when it comes to your own asset, whether it's your own app or web, again, you have your own tech costs, IT costs, then, on top of that, you have your acquisition costs. But thereafter, the cost of doing business, whether it is on marketplace or your own asset, so something is always challenging to manage. So that's largely the challenge.
Yeah, so the common challenge, because we are working with the people who have never done e-commerce in their life, the common challenge is basically sometimes I feel that my job is to give education. So how to package their products well, what kind of packaging they should use, what is the size of the outer package they should actually tell when they are actually listing it on the catalog, how to do the right storytelling on the catalog part. These are the basic challenges we face every day. And then what we try at our end is we try to partner with the companies. I mean, We have few of us like Seller App here who have done a lot for us in terms of educating them, telling them how to do it, and then create a playbook and run it in cohorts with different people. Lot of participation from the government, like SFAC, Ministry of Agriculture. They are also trying to fund some smaller seller marketplaces so that actually they can take this to the entire tier 5, tier 6 cities, or let's say villages, where they can actually create awareness that such kind of things are possible to do today.
Right. Yes, please.
Yeah, so I think for us, the biggest challenge sort of is to match speed with soul. So I would say that tech sort of gives us the speed, and we are able to expand more into more markets. Managing the profitability part of it is really the soul, right?
How do you do that? How do you ensure that you manage profitability?
So there's a lot of optimization that we look at everything, right? Because being a marketplace, we are basically primarily a commission model. So there's a lot of optimization in everything that we do, right? Whether it is our shipping, whether it is our payment, whether any touch point that we have with tech, we try to bring in optimization, because even a single percent, if you are a DNB owner especially, right? I think even a single percentage makes a huge difference for you. So that's one thing. And in terms of getting the LTV right, because it is, as you said very correctly, true that the CAG is sort of increasing every year, and it's going to keep, the CAC is going to sort of keep increasing, right? So the only real thing in our hand is the LTV. And I think we use a lot of tech tools to sort of ensure that we are retargeting this audience that has already come to us, right? And at Purple Pony, we have a very healthy LTV ratio. And I think for any DNB brand today, if you're not above average, if your LTV is not above average, then sort of survival becomes kind of tough, right? So we have multiple ways to sort of get that through, but also having a very healthy organic churn sort of helps you build a healthy LTV.
Sure. So we are a supply chain company, and we work with a lot of these digital native brands. So the biggest challenge is that we have to solve for them to be competitive to their end customers in terms of speed and experience. So that's like the primary objective for any supply chain company, and for us also. The second biggest problem statement is to offer that competitive speed without significantly increasing the total cost of logistics, because we were discussing about the increasing CAC and the routine cost of operations being increasing. So how can we offer quite competitive experience, because click-to-door timeline is like one of the frontier where customer expectation is getting battled on. How fast can I get the products?
Yes.
But also brands cannot pay for that delivery over a certain number. So how can we make that happen is a problem statement. But yeah, there are two primary problem statements.
But how do you solve it out? That's more important.
How we solve it first is, if I go with the first principles, first is that you have to keep your inventory reasonably available. Only if you have your inventory closer to customer is when you will be able to offer fast shipping speed without very high last mile cost. And last mile cost is the biggest component in the entire cost of logistics, typically.
But it also depends kind of, what kind of products you're handling. Whether those are perishable, non-perishable. If those are perishable, then what kind of logistics actually gets into it?
Of course. So the answer varies differently for, say, a footwear versus a furniture versus FMCG, etc. Range of SKUs that you're dealing with, what is your primary demand center, tier 1, tier 2. For us, even prepaid CODs are very important dynamic. So yeah, the answer is very custom for every player that we work with, but yeah, we have to come up with a concrete solution that works out for brands individually.
Fantastic. Is there anything that our guests out here would like to know? Because, yes, please. Can someone give a mic to her? Can one of you please pass on a mic to her? Because a panel is what that should add value to everyone who is listening. Otherwise, it's just a monologue that's happening. So if it really adds value, then it adds a fructification of time for all of us. Can the coordinators please pass on a mic to our guest out there? I suggest the coordinators need to be better prepared. No, that's all right. Let them do it. It's their job. Because only then the panel is really interesting. Otherwise, it's only what we are speaking. They may need to know something. Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
Hey, hi, this is Raksha. Very nice discussion here. My question is probably for small business, but I think even the big businesses today are also thinking in terms of personalized packaging, right? So how do you introduce personal packaging through fulfillment automation? Like most of us having so many SKUs, you have to get from the
Yeah, I think they've got the question. Any one of you can take it, whoever you feel appropriate. So her question is, how do you ensure that personalized packaging is being taken care of? That's what basically she wants to know.
I can take this. So as a fulfillment company, we work with quite a few D2C brands who have a unboxing experience being put on YouTube. So that's part of the buying experience where people buy aspirational product and they want to kind of showcase it. So a handwritten note by founder, free samples, some goodies, etc. These are like something a lot of brands that we have been working with tend to do that. But of course, that is not made for all the brands together because of course it adds in a bit of complexity.
Yeah, plus, you know, it also adds, whilst it's very nice to do that, but it also adds a larger challenge with sometimes when we see the consumers. For example, if you send a handwritten note from a leader of the organization, tomorrow, a slightest of flicker, that can really bounce back very bad. And with today's social media coming up, sometimes, you know, that you plan to do something good, something that would touch the end consumer, sometimes bounces back very bad. Yes, ma'am, you want to say something?
Yeah. So yes, we do live in an era of personalization. It really depends on the granularity of the personalization, right? It may not be a handwritten note because it may not be always scalable, but having a note inside, it could be a printed note inside. You know, basically keeping the customer informed, right? We've received your order, we are working on next step. That could be completely automated, but the customer, you know, knowing that they're being cared for makes the difference. So simple things like those goes a long way.
Fantastic. So basically what I think both of them are saying is mostly similar. That's something where you do, where you touch the end consumer at a very personal level. That's what I think is coming out very clearly. Yes, please.
Yeah. So I think one of the important points when it comes to personalized packaging is when gifting takes place, right? I mean, whenever people want gifting, so they come up to us and they say that there is a MOQ, you know, 50 order or say 100. So what we do is at our end, we talk to our manufacturers and brands, and we really suggest them that you should put either their logo or something, initials or something like that. And if we can do that, I mean, nothing like it, because it's just like, it's a very warm gesture from, you know, even a marketplace. So that's what we try to do. And I think for gifting, packaging is important. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Now I think I'm in the last final phase of it because we have around 12 minutes more and we need to respect time. I will come back on certain very critical questions when each one of you run organizations as leaders. Or if you think from a leadership level, from a high level when you actually run organization, what is the most critical thing? What we say is that in spite of having great products, in spite of having great technologies, in spite of having great processes, etc., the most important thing is that you need to have right people. If you don't have that, anything you have all goes for a waste. So my question is, how do you ensure that you build a right ecosystem of culture in your organization? Be as true to your own organization so that, you know, our audience really can learn from it. And also when you answer, think back, if one of your colleagues or one of your juniors listens to what you are saying out in this forum, they should be able to connect. What it means is that it should be as factually true from your organization perspective. I'll repeat my question for the clarity of all. What is your organizational culture for your people to ensure that your core team and your people really feel valued in your organization? I think you can start. Yes, please.
I think the first few people that you hire are very, very important because they set the tone for your organization. You hire the initial wrong set, you know, it's like rotten apples. They, you know, rot the entire set. So the first few people that you hire are very critical. I think that's the most important thing.
Okay. No, but you know, if I want all of you to listen to my question carefully. My question was not about that. My question was, how do you ensure that you build great culture in your organization? And my question also went back stating, if your people of your company listens to what you're saying now out here, they should be able to resonate. They should not say, no, no, this doesn't happen in my company. So what is it that you people ensure to build that ecosystem that your people say that, no, Monday morning, yes, I would love to go back to work. And they should not say, oh, you know, I don't want to go back to their office. That's my question.
So I'll take this, Harsh.
Yeah, so
Any one of you can take it.
yeah, I can talk about my company. So we are still at an early stage. So founders are directly involved into day-to-day operations. So from a culture perspective, it starts with a good hiring process, because if you get in right set of talent, then you can trust them more. You can give them more stuff to do, and then you don't need to micromanage, because it's only when you micromanage is when the culture goes for a toss. So if you are able to get in right set of people, have a very high execution focus, give them very clear set of goals, and then just leave it to them. And
My question to you is that, if, for example, your people are listening to this, will they be aligned to your answer? That's my question. Because they need to also resonate and say, yes,
Right,
that's exactly what happens. Or they may say, no, no, actually he goes and does micromanagement, but he's saying that.
yeah.
Right?
Right.
So, that's not what I want.
Yeah, sure. I think they, from my perspective, they should be broadly aligned, because for us, generally...
Super. If they're broadly aligned, fine. I just want your people to listen to it. Because, we want to be as true in this panel so that, it really adds value. Over to you, ma'am.
Right. So I think at Purple Pony, it's basically that the founders work like employees, and the employees work like founders or owners. And I think that is what sets the pace right for us. Because each of my employee is, I can guarantee you, equivalent to 10 employees, 10 normal employees, right? Of course, we provide them with a lot of tech to enable all of this, right? So that it doesn't drain them out entirely. But at the same time...
Could you give some example to all of us when you say that you provide them a lot of tech so that they don't get drained out?
So for example, typically when you look at a backend operations, right, I'll talk about that first. When you look at backend operations, I would say that I have 2 people managing the entire backend operations, and which would typically require 10 to 15 people. Now I'm able to do this because my entire ERP, CRM, OMS, WMS, everything is integrated onto one single platform. So whether it's me or it's my employee who's sitting and working all the orders, who's sitting and working all the CRM, the stock, inventory, anybody can just, we are a click away from all the information we need.
My question
at all
is,
points of
if
time.
your people are listening to this,
Right.
and every time you say they're my employees,
Right.
what do you set as an infrastructural for the organization? When you say they're my employees,
Right.
they're my people.
Right.
So my question again stays, what is it that you're doing for them to ensure that they add value to their lives? They build financial freedom. They build health freedom.
So we certainly pay above the rest, right? I believe in paying, we believe in paying above the rest.
So one is that you pay great salary.
Ensuring that that allows them to not worry about this, or do I need to look for another job now?
Okay, so one is that you pay good
Is there a competitor
salary.
who's willing to outbid her, right, or them?
Okay, other than salary, what else? Okay, one is you
So the
pay them
work
very good
culture
salary.
is very open.
Can
It's
you
very
explain
open
that?
because I don't think that there's any other way to really grow today, but to sort of be open, and especially because I work with a lot of younger employees, right? And we
So my
work-
question is still very focused. So
Right.
you said that you pay them very good salary.
Right.
It's fantastic. So which is like at part of the market or better than market. Anything else that your employees feel, wow, these people really care for me? Okay, salary is one of it.
It's home. If you ask them, they'll tell you it's home. They love what they do.
Can you please define? Can you please define? See, I'm getting into granular points which would actually help an employee. Can you please define? So what do you mean by that?
I think sort of inculcating that sense of ownership, right? So when they come in from the morning, there's a sense of ownership. That
To build a great
this
large
is mine.
organization?
So whether it is a partner who's talking to them, or it is a customer who's
Ownership
talking
for what?
to them.
That's my question. Ownership for? To
Ownership.
build a great organization, large organization?
I think ownership to keep us sustained, because
The
yes,
organization sustained?
absolutely. That's
So what is it for the
organization
employee?
sustained.
There is again I'm going.
Right.
So please
There's
understand.
tremendous growth, sir. I will tell you this. There is tremendous growth. And also, like Harsh said very correctly, that micromanaging kida, which a lot of us had, right? Because millennials grew up like that. We grew up getting micromanaged all the time. And I think the Gen Zers are not at all a taker for that, right? So I think that whole shift has to come. But for that to really come into play.
Okay, I'll come to you, ma'am. So she was that we pay good salary. Over to you.
Hey, that's not the main point of it.
One of them.
No, I could agree on the last point. Actually, basically, you have to empower them.
Right.
So, I mean, if anybody is doing anything, any job today, a lot of mistakes will happen. हमसे भी होती हैं. Everybody makes mistakes. So you just don't have to make them feel that, oh my God, what a blunder you have done. And next time when they are doing something that you have to like caution them all the time. No, don't do that. Especially with the Gen Zs,
Okay,
no.
over to you, sir, because you are from a large group. So is there something else that your company is doing for your employees where they feel, yes, and they really take care of us well?
All right.
Other than the compensation, salary.
Apart from compensation, okay, the cultural sense largely is, of course, there are goal setting, smart goals and all of that. But what is important is, trusting that employee or the team member, empowering them, on a daily basis, allowing them to do what they want to do, and also allowing them to try and even fail, right?
But how do you ensure that your people, see, what happens is that your people need to grow, right? So how do you ensure that you build a financial stability for them? The company grows, we talk about large turnovers, we talk about company growth, we talk about EBITDAs, IRRs. What about people? How do you ensure that they proportionately grow with the company? That's what I'm trying to understand, because that's what is important.
I mean, that's largely in large organization, you'll have a fixed compensation and a variable compensation, except when there are companies who offer stocks and ESOPs as well.
So do you do that?
There is no option as such there.
Yeah, so that, okay, over to you, ma'am. Is there anything that you'd like to add on this?
So at Shobitam, we call and behave as one family. We call ourselves the Shobitam family. We have team members across Bangalore, Raipur, Jaipur. Raipur is a 40+ women, who've come from hinterland, come in every day. We celebrate everybody's birthdays. We care for each other, which is why we've retained so many of our employees who've been there since the beginning, and that's proof.
So, right? So can you give us some details? So if your people are listening to you, and they say, okay, please tell me that how you have made me financially free, or maybe how you have ensured that I stay more healthy, or how you have ensured, okay, my passion is to read great books. As an organization, what have you done? Or maybe my passion is to travel. As an organization, what have you done? So do we really think about our people like this?
Absolutely, absolutely. So sometimes people are hired for a particular job, but they grow into other roles. I'll give you an example. So someone came in as a security personnel, and we realized that he was very quick at absorbing. He now does inventory management. He's learned VLOOKUP, he's learned Excel.
My question is not in terms of elevating in terms of their promotions. My question is very focused as to, for example, say someone joins in your organization and they say, ma'am, I would love to learn guitar. These are very core things that, I always meet when I meet employees in Bangalore. So do you say, okay, don't worry, I'll be funding you from the organization?
Yeah, I have an example of that as well. So somebody joined in as a data person, but his passion was photography and editing. He's now grown into a content creator, and he travels with us. He comes to Banaras, he comes to Kanjivaram. So yes, we do hone their passion as much as possible.
Ma'am, over to you.
So I think one example that comes to my mind is that when we hired some interns at our firm, from IIM Mumbai, they had all the confidence that, what, we are amazing at strategy, amazing at operations. But then they were quite not comfortable with calling people or communicating directly. So what we did was we provided some resources. We put them out of their comfort zone. And then we discussed with them that, what, I think you should just try it once, break the ice. And maybe it will work out for you.
No, again, my question is always, the similar lines.
Yeah.
If the employee wants to grow, depending on the turnover of the organization, how do you ensure that you are in proportion to that? That's my question. Okay, I think we are in the last phase of it. We are just in 1 minute. For all of our guests there, we try to bring the best from our panelists. This is a fantastic panel. We try to keep things very impromptu because I'm of a great believer that if we truly cannot take care of our people, whatever you do will eventually fall back like pack of cards. And that's the truth. I have run multiple organizations across India and overseas. I have truly believed that people are the core resource, and I'm sure all of us believes in that. But as we believe for the founders, whoever are listening to me, or for my guests, it is so much important that I believe that we have to genuinely care for people. Most organizations say that they do, they say that we are families, etc., etc. But when it comes to do actual giveaway to people, they stop back. They feel that, no, why should I? When they feel that, okay, how much money will be needed to do that? So what happens is that, whilst they say that, we are great organizations, we have great mission boards, vision boards, these are all on paper. So, when I was talking to a leading management college and most of the founders were there, I was trying to set the tone for Bangalore that it's time that we all wake up, put our foot grounded, and say that we are there for the people, and only they can build a great organization for all of us. We are just saying time's up. Thank you, all of us, and thank you, all my panelists. It was really, really nice interacting with you, and sincerely thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you.